Hello friends, this video will be a tutorial about the three following things. First, on how to improve your sleep and fall asleep faster. Secondly, how to achieve your first lucid dream or achieve fake lucidity. And thirdly, on how you can deal with nightmares. Let's jump right in. You can improve your sleep if you stretch out your body a bit before you go to bed, so your body isn't as tense and you can fall asleep easier. If you have muscle pain, you can use a heating bottle and sleep with that one to relax your muscles. Also, you can use a weighted blanket. I use 2 blankets instead of a weighted blanket, which might be a little bit too warm for you. And at night, when the plants don't produce any oxygen anyway, you can remove them, so you can also avoid the spores that they may produce, which could obstruct your sleep. A lower temperature is usually better to sleep. For example, 15 to 70 degrees Celsius is the ideal temperature for humans to sleep. And for the US, that's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And this temperature is way too high. And then the next point is about blue light. Ideally, you want to skip all of your electronics 1 hour before you go to bed. Also, you can use a blue light filter at your computer, which turns on automatically between 7 and 9 p.m. Or you can use special glasses which filter out the blue light, but I don't have them right now. But I will add a clip about that once I find them again. I didn't find my glasses anymore, but I will put an affiliate link for similar glasses and other products that might help you sleep better into the description. And if you click that, I get a small provision from the seller's profit. Thanks for that already. Also, avoid being physically super exhausted, because that hinders me personally a lot during my sleep, because then I won't remember my dreams anymore when I wake up. Also, try to avoid alcohol, coffee, cigarettes, and any other substances, because all of them can alter your sleep dramatically. And the biggest tip to improve your sleep is to smash the like button and subscribe. Melatonin is the sleep hormone, and it gets blocked if you see blue light, because then your body thinks it's still day and you don't have to sleep yet. And if you filter out the blue light, you can fall asleep way easier. A few other methods on how to fall asleep faster is just try to not move your body at all, even if it's itchy, or you just want to brush your eyebrow because it's really itchy right now, or you want to scratch your chin. You just have to avoid all of these urges, and then you can fall asleep faster. Also, you should stop thinking if you can, like meditate. I personally spend a lot of time in bed, even though I could fall asleep, because I enjoy my time thinking a bit about stuff that happened during the day. I process it in my head. Also, you need really good shutters, so you don't get too much natural light into your room. Or if you live near a street, you have street lights which can shine into your room. This also obstructs your sleep. I also had problems with my hearing for a few months, not so long ago, and I used an earwash to remove all of the cotton out of my ears that was stuck in there, and it swelled up and I didn't hear anything anymore. Only noise I heard was just the ringing from my ears, like tinnitus, thanks to partying. Then for a few months, all of my dreams were about sirens or clocks ringing or doorbells. I just hear ringing everywhere, because all of the other noises were blocked. And another method on how to fall asleep faster is to focus on your senses. First, you think about what you can see when your eyes are closed. You just see some black and white, probably. Then you shift your senses to your nose, and then you think about what do you smell while you're in the bed. Then you change towards your whole skin, and what do you feel with your skin. And then you go back to your eyes, nose, maybe mouth, and you just rotate all of your senses continuously, because it's a bit mind-numbing. Then you can calm down. One of the most effective ways to fall asleep faster is focus on your breathing. You just breathe in really slowly, stop, and then you exhale, and you stop again, and continue this cycle. It goes like this. As you can see, I look a little bit more relaxed right now. And now on how to achieve your first lucid dream. Ideally, you already remember some of your dreams, and then you begin recording them, either with pen and paper. And in the past, I used to start my computer, then you type it in there, which isn't a good recommendation. Or you make a voice recording with your smartphone or MP3 player. I use this one. it's not that good. You see, it's already used and maybe used up already. It's very bright, and if you're in bed and it's this bright, it can also hinder your sleep because of the melatonin again. As you might be able to guess, I'm looking for a new recording device, but didn't find one that I like yet, so the output of dream videos is currently halted. And if you record your dreams continuously, either on pen and paper or digitally, you soon will improve your dream memory or will be aware that you are in a dream. There are different methods on noticing when you're in a dream. For example, there are reality checks where you go, for example, count your fingers and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you think, okay, I don't have 7 fingers, but 5 fingers. Let me count again. And you go 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you see, okay, I just have 4 fingers, which is rather unusual. Then you should notice that you're in a dream, because if you count something in a dream or you read something, it usually changes the meaning. The first time it's a completely different sentence from the second time. Another method is to look at clocks. They also change the numbers a lot, or the arms of the clock are in random places where they shouldn't be logically in normal time sense. Then you can try another reality check, which is holding your nose and then trying to breathe in through your nose and breathe out of your nose. If you're in real life, it looks like this. It doesn't work too well. And if you're in a dream, you can breathe perfectly fine even while you hold your nose. Another fun check is to move through objects, and the easiest way to test it is with your hand. In real life, you do this check continuously during the day. For example, you try to take a finger and push it through your hand. If you're in real life, you have a difficulty moving your finger through your hand unless you're Jesus. But if you're in a dream, you have no problems pushing your finger through your hand. And the same goes, for example, for walls. You can just go to a wall and then you push your hand through. There are different cues for most people that have recurring dreams. For example, when I drink a little bit too much water before I go to bed, then I have to stand up again in the night and pee. And before I wake up, I see toilets in my dream. And then I want to pee in the toilet, but it suddenly moves away from me and I had to run behind it, or it's blocked, or it moves up to the ceiling, so I can't reach it anymore. And then I usually know, okay, I'm in a dream, because toilets usually don't move up walls that often. I just noticed I forgot to flip the screen back. That's better for me, and I hope it doesn't confuse you too much. For example, Salvador Dali or Albert Einstein. There are stories I did read. They held something onto the hand and had a pen or some other metal object below the hand. So when they finally fell asleep, their grip strength weakened and they let something drop out of their hands. And then they woke up. And for Dali, he went back to drawing, and Einstein, he probably went back to do science. There are other methods on how to achieve a lucid dream. It's usually in the later parts of the night when you're well rested already. And you can set up your clock to ring 1.5 hours before you usually stand up, or it usually rings. Then you wake up and then you go back to bed rather soon, within the next 50 minutes, and ideally fall asleep really soon. But your mind was already awake enough to notice when you're in a dream that something isn't working properly. And your judgment is already not that clouded anymore, and you notice things that are astray and you can correct them, and then you're in a lucid dream. Usually first dream should be a bit boring because you don't know what you can do in there already, and most people fly, but for me flying is not as fun in a dream because I usually don't move that fast, like 13 kilometers per hour, I would say. Or for the US, that's like less than 20 miles per hour. And the method to fall asleep faster where you don't move can also be used to start a dream directly. If you don't move for a long while, if you open your eyes while your body is already paralyzed, it can scare you. It also increases the chance that you wake up. And if you start falling asleep like this, then it's very likely that you start hallucinating. Therefore, Dali probably liked to wake up with this method to continue painting with new inspiration. Within the last few years, I developed a new skill, which I call personally Fake Lucidity. It's not completely being lucid in a dream, but everything you want to happen actually happens in a dream, caused by affirmation. You think it would be cool if now there was like a glass floating through the air, and then, oh, look at that, there's a glass floating through the air. You go with that same attitude throughout the day. You hope, for example, it will be really cool if the person to my left comes over to me and talks to me. And then suddenly the person walks towards your direction and you get really happy. And then you can maybe think it would be even better if this person that comes over right now would invite me to dinner. And then you can continuously go on and on and on and on. And stuff that would be ideally, or how you would have the most fun. Either you hope strong enough and it happens, or you just go out and try to make it happen if it's something good. I can go like this. If this cool person over there touches their left ear within the next 10 seconds, then I will go over there and introduce myself. And if you touch it, you're scared and you don't move over there already. So I say, okay, if within the next 10 seconds they jump on one leg and turn around in a circle, then I will talk to them. And then they do that, and you think, okay, that's a little bit weird, and it might be a dream then, and you can lucid dream, or you just have fun and continuously improve the difficulty of the task the people should do, or would be fun for your entertainment. And if you achieve continuously more difficult tasks, then you might have achieved fake lucidity. You're welcome. And now onwards on how to deal with nightmares. For me, my nightmares are usually if I am in a car and in the shotgun seat in real life driving myself. I really dislike it a lot. And if I am in a car with people that don't drive well, I'm also really annoyed. There are just a few people that I really enjoy driving the car with. My mom, my sister, and her boyfriend. They're perfect drivers. And in my dream, cars usually don't move properly. It's very scary actually. And those are my nightmares. And whatever is your nightmare. And if you don't like insects, for example, I would imagine a frog or a reptile that sticks out his tongue and shoots it at the fly and then eats the fly. And if you don't like frogs or reptiles, you can imagine a bird or a vulture, something bigger, who snatches the amphibia and then eats it or just carries it away. Or a bit more brutal, if you don't like birds, you can imagine them flying into an airplane. And if you are afraid of heights, then I would, for example, recommend a weighted blanket again, because then you feel like pressured down and it's less likely that you associate that with being up in the air. And for example, being claustrophobic, move your bed like in the middle of the room or away from the walls so you don't hit them in the night when you sleep and then you notice you hit a wall and maybe that triggers a bad dream. Or you can use lighter bed sheets for more air circulation, or you put up a fan which blows air through the room so you feel like you're on the outside. And the outside usually has less walls. I didn't mention it before, but white noise might help you to fall asleep faster if you're afraid of being alone. A little bit background noise can help you sleep better. And for example, a fear of thunder. Then I would read about Faraday cages, which isolate the individual within the cage from all electricity, and the individual within the cage is completely unharmed. In general, if you have any phobia, you should think of how to tackle a problem. Not just ignore it, but do mental exercises. For example, like soldiers that were in war, they have PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And people that do mental exercises, they relive the situation and what they could have done differently, or how to deal with situations in general. And if you have a go-to response, for example, if you don't like insects, you just imagine a frog every time. And then you can maybe look at videos about frogs on how to eat insects. Or if you're afraid of snakes, you look at a video about how professionals deal with snakes, for example, with long sticks and how they catch them. So if you would meet a snake in real life, you would know how to deal with it. And then you create your own go-to response, which might be a bit upsetting at the start, but over time you will learn how to deal with the problem. And then while you are fake lucid, you know how to deal with it. And have dreams that repeat themselves continuously and I'm stuck in a loop. For example, it's a little bit simplified, but imagine it would be like you have to put something on a desk and it falls down and you have to put it up again. And you have to do this continuously like 20 times. After a few times you notice that it's a dream, but I can't create a response if I'm too exhausted mentally, and then I just wake myself up. I feel like I can wake myself up instantly, but it might even be 5 seconds because of the time dilution that is caused by sleep. Once in a dream I was so surprised and afraid at the same time, where I wasn't able to tell if I am in a dream or in real life, and so I threw a punch in self-defense and I woke myself up and I was already sitting in bed with a raised fist, so I can prevent sleep paralysis a bit. Something funny about sleep paralysis, which is usually a disconnect from your body to your mind. So if you are in a dream and you punch or run, body don't act out your dreams. Once I woke up, I was missing like one of my abs and a muscle under my shoulder blade. It felt like somebody took a chisel and took out the muscle, and it was like nothing was there. It was completely empty feeling, like some part of my belly and back were missing. But usually If I had time or like on the weekend where I didn't mind losing a bit of sleep, I did experiment on how quick I can wake myself up. And I also had one experience which was super awesome. I heard a siren from a fire truck on the outside of my window driving by, and I know I have a fire alarm in my room, so if there was a fire it would have already gone off. So I knew the car is just driving by because I live near a busy street, so I was able to keep myself asleep while being aware in a lucid dream, and I could fall back into the dream again and continue it. But for most people that experience sleep paralysis, it's usually scary. I had one scare once when I still had a different bed. There was a railing and there was a slight gap in there, and while I slept my arm slipped into the gap, and then I woke up and didn't feel my hands because there was a lack of blood flow in there. And then I woke up, oh my god, I can't feel my hands, and within like 10 seconds the feeling returned slowly. It just felt like my arms were missing, and it was really scary for me. And that's everything I wanted to say today. Thanks a lot for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe, and please share with anybody you think who could benefit from this video. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.